Hi everyone, I'm Cody, W3AMG with BridgeCom Systems. Thank you all for joining us today. Today's live stream, we're going to be going over the SkyBridge hotspot and how to actually set up and configure everything. I know the SkyBridge has been growing a lot in popularity, and there's a lot of people getting SkyBridges and not entirely sure how to set them up, how to use them, so we're going to cover all of that confusion today, simplify it all for you folks. But first, let's do some shout outs. Let's see, who do we have in the house today? Let's see, we have Steve, KE0CYW. Good morning, Steve. Frank, K7ONO from Texas. Good morning, Frank. Chris, WRMT830. Must be some kind of call sign. Then we have Jeff, KD9RYT. Good morning, Jeff. Robert, N5RAE from Houston, Texas. Peter, AA6UV. Let's see, Michael, KF6UV. Eric, K6IT. Good morning, Eric. Jim, AA9YS. Let's see, we have Steve, KD2OFD. Good morning. Aaron, KD6LLW. Jenny, N9IQV from Chicago. Let's see. Stan, WB8QJZ. Good morning, Stan. Daniel, KJ7RUH. Good morning. Awesome. So lots of people in the house today. We're going to have an awesome stream. Before we get started, I want to go over a couple quick announcements. We still have the Santa's Sleigh giveaway going on right now. Opportunity for you to win a lot of ham radio gear. Great opportunity there. Make sure you click the link in the description and sign up for that. It's going to be going on until January 9th. So through the holiday season, we still have some time to enter. Make sure your friends enter that as well. More opportunity for you. And if you refer them, you even get some more entries. So we're also on this stream here today. I'm going to be giving you guys one lucky winner, a brand new 878 UV2 Plus radio. This is the latest and greatest DMR radio that we sell on the market right now. And we're going to give one away today, but you do have to be present to win. So make sure you enter that giveaway down below and then stick around until the end when we call your name. If you're not here, you won't win. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we have our SkyBridge here. Got it turned off. So first thing I'm going to do is I've got it connected to the Ethernet. Plugged in, and I'm going to plug the USB cable into it to turn it on. There we go, awesome. So we'll wait for that to boot up here. Now, what else do we need? So we're going to need a call sign, and then a DMR ID, and then finally a Brandmeister account to be able to use this with our radio. So I already have my radio here. I've got a supercode plug in it, so it's all set up, ready to go. We're just going to go over the SkyBridge today. Now, we actually just came out with something really neat, the Ultra Code Plug. So the Super Code Plug has about 150 talk groups, a lot of great information in it, save you a lot of time, but we just came out with the Ultra Code Plug. Now, the Ultra Code Plug is amazing. One of our in-house people, Lucas, designed it. It's designed right here, and it includes over 800 talk groups. So a huge bump, and especially for the international talk groups, it's amazing because it has not only the countries, but a bunch of the territories within the countries. It's really neat. You don't want to miss it. And if you have questions about it, or maybe you have a super code plug and you want to switch to one, we can probably work something out with you. So give us a call, 816-532-8451, and press 2, and we will help you out there. So let's switch over to the computer and find some of our information. Okay, so here is the super code plug for those of you who are curious what it looks like. That's what it'll look like once you purchase it. You can download it there. Awesome. So first, we have our SkyBridge connected. So I'm going to find out what my radio ID is, my DMR ID. So I'm going to go to radioid.net. Now I know I have my call sign. I've got my call sign. I passed my test, W3AMG. So I'm set there. Now I can go to database. And then if I scroll down here, I'll go to user ID search. And at this point, I can search for my call sign. So W3AMG. Awesome. Let's scroll down. Perfect. There we go. There I am. So I know that my radio ID is 3152688. Awesome. So we've got that written down. Now what about Brandmeister? So Brandmeister.network, we are actually required to have a Brandmeister account and a Brandmeister password to be able to use the hotspot. So let's take a look here. If you don't have either of these, if you just have your call sign, it's real easy to register with radio ID. You just click the register and go through the process. We even have some videos that show you how if you need help. Or just give us a call. We'll actually help you out, take care of some of this stuff for you if you need help with it. 816-532-8451 and press 2. So let's get set up here with a Brandmeister. I already have one, so I'm just going to log in. So call sign and password, log in. Awesome, here we go. So let's go down to, in this case, we're going to go to services and then self-care. Now at this point, now that we're in the self-care section, we're going to scroll down until we see hotspot security. Now the password field is always going to be blank. Now if we want to enter a password, we can do that and hit save, and it will save it in the system, but it's still going to show up blank here. So don't be concerned. If you've made your password and it still doesn't show up, don't worry, they have it, it's in the system, it works. But this is just the ability to enter a new one. So we'll enter a password here real quick. There we go. And then I'm just going to hit save. Perfect, so now I know what my password is for Brandmeister. I've saved that to my Brandmeister account. And now when I go over to Pi-Star to program my SkyBridge, I can put that in there and it will actually work. Awesome, so let's go to Pi-Star. Now that we've got all the initial information figured out, we want to log into the SkyBridge. Now one of the really neat things about the SkyBridge Plus is it's got this nice big screen on the front, and you can actually see the information you need to log in. So I can see here the IP address is 192.168.1.177. Now if I was using like a more traditional hotspot that doesn't have this information displayed, I'd have to log into my Wi-Fi network, try to use some sort of IP scanner to find that information. And for a technical user, that's fine. I know how to do that. I'm sure a lot of you folks do. But especially when you're first getting into it, that can be challenging. And the SkyBridge takes care of that for you, just eliminates it. You have that, you can just type it right into your web browser. You just want to make sure your computer you're using, you could even do this from a cell phone. Doesn't matter, Pi-Star works with anything. You just have to make sure they're on the same network. So I have this plugged into the same network that this is connected to with Wi-Fi. And once we do the initial setup, we can even set this up for Wi-Fi, so you never have to worry about that cord again. Awesome, so let's log in here. So we know it's 192.168.1.177. Perfect, there we go. So we've signed in. Now at this point, you want to click on configuration. Awesome. So we're in the configuration panel. Now, if it's your first time logging into it, I've logged into this before, so it didn't prompt me this time. But this has completely been wiped and set up just like you would receive it. This is exactly how it's going to look. What you'll want to do, it's going to prompt you with a login, and there's going to be a username and a password. Now, in the show notes, we have this information, so if you want to follow along, make sure you look at the show notes down below. But we have all the information you need down there as well. But the username is going to be Pi-Star, that's Pi-star, all lowercase, and then the password is Raspberry. So just keep that in mind if you're prompted with that. Let's see here. So once we're in here, actually new SkyBridges, you can almost skip one of the steps, come with DMR mode already enabled. Traditional hotspots, you're going to have to enable that. Not a big deal, but it's nice that they come that way. So we have DMR mode enabled. And we're going to scroll down here and enter some information. So the call sign, the node call sign, that's going to be our call sign. Let's put that in here. So W3AMG, that's where your call sign goes. And then the DMR ID, we've written that down here. We know that my DMR ID is 3152688. Awesome. Now at this point, we need to find out what frequency our radio is set on. Now, most of you, if you purchased a super code plug, are going to be on this frequency that it comes set up for. So the SkyBridge actually already comes pretty much set up to use with a super code plug. I apologize, an ultra code plug. The brand new ultra code plug is going to come set up for this. Now, I personally have my radio set up a little bit different because a lot of the guys in the shop here use a different frequency, and you may have the same situation at your house, or you just want to use a different frequency. So I have my radio set up on 446.525. So I'm going to change this frequency. It's real simple, 446.525. There we go. We just need to make sure that matches what we have in our radio. That's pretty much it. And then longitude and latitude, you can leave that blank, but if we want to get real specific, we can find out as well. So usually I just do a Google search for the city, and it's as simple as that. So we have our coordinates, so we can punch them in. Just like that, perfect. So we have our coordinates now, and it will tell you the positive value for north and negative for south and positive for east, negative for west, just like normal coordinates, which we have there. Perfect. So we're set up. Now our town, and let's see, we can do USA, that's fine. And then we typically would want to put our call sign in here just if people want to look us up. So there it looks like it's already popping up. That way, if someone wants to look up our URL, it'll take us to our QRZ page. A lot of you folks have some awesome QRZ pages with all kinds of pictures. I probably need to update mine. It's not up to par with most people's, but the QRZ page is really neat, being able to look at other people's pages. And then the radio modem type should be set from the factory just as you need, but this is what you want to set it to if for some reason yours got changed. This SkyBridge MMDVM HS dual band for Pi GPIO. That's the one you want. Now we have node type. So do we set this to private or public? It's a question we get asked all the time. There really is no right or wrong answer to this. They're for different situations. So I'll explain what it does here. If you are in a very busy environment and there's a lot of people using, SkyBridges and ham radio, you probably want to set this to private. That's going to make sure that someone else using the same frequency is not going to interfere with your SkyBridge. Now on the other hand, if you're in a household, there's not going to be any interference, but maybe yourself and your wife or your kids have radios as well, and you just want to use one SkyBridge, you can actually set it up for public, and then it will use whatever DMR ID is in their radio to work with the SkyBridge and broadcast that out on the network. So you can use your SkyBridge with multiple people that way. Not going to be locked down. So for this, we're going to make it private because we're the only people who need to be using it in the shop here. But we can make it public, and then anyone using that frequency could also use it. Awesome. Well, we can leave pretty much everything else here alone. And then the Dmr Master, this is going to be where you're located. So you can actually use different Dmr Masters. There's no real, you don't have to use the one close to you. It's just recommended. So for me, the 3102 is probably the most central one. It's in Texas. Then there's a 3104, which is the most eastern one, that's in Illinois. And then we have 3103, which is out in California. These changed a little bit a while back. There used to be one further out east, and that one's no longer there. So now there's 3104 kind of replaced that. So that's what we have for that. If for some reason you ever have trouble, it's been working fine, and then one day it just stops working, you didn't change anything, it is possible one of the servers went down. It's very rare, but it can happen. And so in that case, just try switching to a different server, one of those three options, the 3103, 3102, or 3104, and 9 times out of 10, that'll fix your problem. So there we go, Hotspot security. So this is where we want to put that new password we created. Awesome, and that's going to allow it to work. Now, if you get that password wrong or you don't have one, this will not work at all. Everything will seem like it's all okay, but you press transmit, it's going to beep at you and you're not going to get anywhere. So make sure you have that password set up correctly. Color code 1, we should have everything set up with our code plug. The ultra code plug is going to have all that information taken care of for you so you don't have to worry about the color codes and time slots. and we should be ready to go. So we've set up everything in Pi-Star. Now let's go ahead and click Apply Changes. We can see over here on the SkyBridge itself, it's writing to the SkyBridge. We can see MMDVM stopped, so it's going to do that for a minute and then eventually reboot, and we're going to be ready to go. That's another nice thing with the SkyBridge. It's very fast, so once you send information to it, it takes it and reboots, and then you're back up and on the air. Cool, how cool is that? So we've got it set up. Let's turn on our radio here. Let's see. Wait for, there we go. Got the radio, W3 AMG. It's neat, you can put your name and call sign up there. Awesome, so we have our radio here. The SkyBridge zones, we have our different zones. This is just the old Super Cub plug. I'm gonna have to get myself one of those Ultra Cub plugs. They look really cool. I've got one, I've yet to install it in my radio, so we're gonna do that afterwards. Here we go, awesome. So Sky Parrot and SkyBridge zone. So let's try it out, see if it works. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is W3 AMG trying out the new SkyBridge I just configured. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is W3 AMG trying out the new SkyBridge I just configured. There we go. How cool is that? So the Parrot is working. We've done it successfully. We're on the SkyBridge. Now, for those of you who are less familiar with this, at this point, it's pretty much a matter of being able to just start talking here to people. There is one thing I want to note on the radio. If we rotate through the talk groups here, there is a talk group 4000. Let's see if we can switch this over here real quick. Talk group 4000, which is called disconnect. So Sky talk group disconnect. That is going to allow you to disconnect from a talk group. So we'll key this up here real quick. And then listen.
Not linked.
Perfect. So we heard it, not linked. So once you key that up, it's going to disconnect you from whatever talk you were talking to, and then display that not linked message. Now, basically, if you're talking to someone on the worldwide talk group, you're going to want to key up that before you try to talk to a different one. Otherwise, when you key up, you're going to be keying up the worldwide talk group again. So just keep that in mind. A lot of people struggle with that. It's very easy once you know how it works, but if you don't know how it works, it can be a frustration. Now also keep in mind, because this is a simplex communication between these two devices, there can't be activity coming to the radio when you key that up, otherwise this will never hear it. So you basically have to wait for a second when no one's speaking to key up the disconnect. So if you're on a really busy talk group, you can actually get stuck on there for a while. Now it will eventually sign you out if you just you know, hang it up for the day. So there we go, we're set up. Let's try talking to someone. What could we do here? Let's try, we'll go to our states. Go through the states. There we go, Missouri. Let's try talking on the Missouri talk group, see if we can get someone out there. Awesome. This is Cody, W3 AMG, trying out my newly configured hotspot on the Missouri talk group. Anyone out there in Missouri today? See if anyone comes back to us. Heard someone. Let's see, looks like someone chimed in. We'll give it a second here. Okay.
7IF, but I'm not in Missouri.
W7IF, not in Missouri. Awesome. Thanks for coming back to me, W7IF. Where are you located today?
In Washington State, I'm watching the video on the BridgeCom deal there, so I'm going to turn it back to the fellow on BridgeCom, W7IF.
Awesome. Yeah, glad to see you. Thanks for coming back to me, W7IF. Hope you're doing well and have a wonderful Christmas and holiday season. 7-3 on your final.
Watching you on YouTube, K0BOW.
Awesome. There we go. So we have some folks tuning in. It looks like from the who are watching this. How cool is that? Small world out there. So there we go. We've got it set up. It's working. With SkyBridge, it's up and on the air. So that's pretty much it. It's really not too difficult. Let's take some questions. What do you guys have trouble with the hotspot?
Sam WS4BSA asks, will the next generation of the SkyBridge contain a slot for a SIM from a cellular vendor so the SkyBridge is always connected to a cellular network?
Hey, that's a great question. You know, I don't know what's going to come down in the future, down the road, but we're always open to suggestions and ideas, so I like it.
Bu Thompson asks, I cannot get DMR gateway mode to work. I get no audio on Parrot, and my password is set and BM is on.
DMR gateway, password set, okay, trying to think. Yeah, good question. I'm trying to think what could be the problem there. What I would recommend doing, I don't have it without seeing some more information. I probably wouldn't be able to give you an answer right here on the stream, but what I would recommend doing is give us a call, 816-532-8451 and press 1, and they should be able to help you with it. And if not, or if you need to send some more information, you can also send in a ticket, and that way we can see all the information or pictures or whatever's going on, and we can help you get it figured out that way. We definitely want to help you with it, but I just need some more information to be able to diagnose that. So awesome, I appreciate it though.
DJ asks, is there a discount if you want to upgrade to the Ultra Code plug?
Hey, that is a great question. You know, I believe they are actually doing some kind of special on that. If you had a super code plug and you want to upgrade to the Ultra Code plug, so definitely give us a call, 816-532-8451 and press 2. I believe, I can't swear to it, but I believe they've been giving out some specials for that. So give us a call and we'll see what we can get you set up with. So I definitely want to take care of you. If you had a super code plug before, we should definitely be able to help you out with an Ultra Code plug. So give us a call and let's see what we can do for you.
Colleen asks, any experience with the 878 UV2 Plus firmware or CPS update recently?
Yeah, I believe they've the tech guys have been trying out some of the new CPS and firmware and everything. I don't personally have a big update on that. Maybe someone in the chat can speak to that if we have anyone in the chat, how that's working so far. I know we always vet them first before we post it out on the website. So once it comes from us, it's usually stable for the most part. But generally, you know, if you're happy with it and it's working, I just leave it alone. Awesome. Do we have any more questions here? Okay, I got a question here. Let's see. Will Mac or Linux ever be supported by your devices? That's a great question. Yeah, really in the radio world, there's not a whole lot that works on other platforms than Windows. I feel the pain too. I use a lot of Apple stuff myself, for better or for worse. But I end up just getting a Windows computer dedicated for radios. It works fine that way. You can actually run Windows on your Mac too. I've done that before. I actually have a video, an old video, that shows you how to do that and run the Anytone software that way. Not really what I'd recommend. It's easier just to buy an inexpensive Windows computer. You can get stuff nowadays for less than $100 that'll work for it. So that's generally the best option, but it would be something cool to see down the road. see, any more questions here?
And we have a winner for our giveaway.
Awesome, we have a winner. Awesome, we have a winner for today's giveaway. Let's see who it is.
John Carr, K1WDZ. Are you in the chat? Let us know.
John Carr, let's see if he's in the chat. If John is in the chat, he has just won himself a brand new radio, but let's not get excited quite yet. Let's see if he's here. If not, we'll draw another winner. And while we wait, I have a question here. What's the difference between the Super Code plug and the Ultra Code plug? That is a fantastic question. So the Super Code plug comes with all 50 states, some popular talk groups, and 78 international talk groups. And so, you know, a lot of talk groups in there, but you're somewhat limited for the international and local stuff. Whereas the Ultra Code plug comes with over 800 different talk groups. So you can dive much more in depth, not just a state, but you can go to different areas within a state. Or like with international talk groups, there's different regions within those countries. It's super in depth and there's a lot more information in it. You'll be able to talk to a lot more people from much cooler areas instead of just a very broad generalization of the area. So it's really neat, definitely worthwhile. That's kind of the main difference. You get way, way, way more bang for your buck with it. Awesome. Is John in the house? Awesome. John is in the house. Congratulations. You have just won yourself a brand new 878 UV2 Plus, the latest DMR and greatest radio on the market. So, awesome. Congratulations to Josh. Hope you all have a great rest of your week. Hopefully you've learned something here today. You know, if you like these streams, definitely send some more people this way. We'd love to help more people in the radio community. And don't forget, if you have questions or want to get set up with a Ultra Code plug, give us a call, 816-532-8451, and press 2, and we will help you out with that. So that's all we have for today. We will see you every week at 11 a.m. Central Time. I'm Cody, W3AMG 73.